We're recording, and I am Piper J. Drake, an author of, what do I write? Oh my gosh, romance, science fiction, and fantasy. I am your storyteller for tonight in this, our session 1. And oh my gosh, we're all brand new to this Chronicle. None of us have played Vampire the Masquerade. I have never been a storyteller before. So this is going to be shenanigans. I'm looking forward to it. But first, let's introduce our players. Katee.
I am Katee Robert. I write dirty romance in a variety of genres, mostly like darkish, high heat level, high in shenanigans.
Bonkers. That's a good description.
Bonkers. Yes, bonkers.
Cooper.
Hi, Cooper Barham. I write mostly dark and sentimental stuff, but my biggest project at the moment is actually a high fantasy story called Color Leviathan on Amazon Bella.
Sarah.
Hi, I'm Sarah. You'll also probably meet my cats who are rustling around in the background. I write romance. Oh, Sarah Hawley, that's my full name. I write romance, and fantasy and science fiction, and my debut novel is coming out from Berkeley in 2023.
Woo! Gabriel.
Hello everyone. I'm Gabriel of Salmeron. I'm a fantasy writer with a lot of magic, with chemistry and stuff like that. I'm also a blacksmith, and I just recently reached my maximum of 7 dogs. Just adopted a baby.
Yeah.
And yes,
Yay.
dogs appear in everything I write. So that's
On brand. Jenny.
I'm Jenny Nordbak. I am a romance author. I have 2 podcasts called Wicked Wallflowers Club with Sarah Hawley and Bonkers Romance. And I also narrate audiobooks.
You do give good voice.
I actually have Wicked Wallflower, like 3 or 4 episodes downloaded and pending listen. I just haven't gotten to it yet.
Excellent.
Nice.
All right. So, are we ready to get into session 1 of our story together?
No, let's do it.
Yes.
You all have dice near yourselves, right? Everybody has their water
yep.
bottles.
I will in
Good to
one
go.
moment.
Dun dun dun. You're like, wait, dice? Dice.
I'm sorry, are we playing a role-playing game? I don't... What?
Like, that's one of the best things about dice. Okay. I'm trying to find the best orientation for everything here. I think I'm okay. I don't know if I'm okay. We're gonna find out.
Do we
When
have
we were
somewhere
doing the
safe to
character
throw
sheets,
dice?
I didn't understand that the dots were represented dice.
They will. We'll
I,
walk
like,
through everything.
Only
nice and
connected that
slowly.
after the fact.
Those will be how many dice you need. But that's okay. We're gonna walk through everything super slow, all right? But let us begin with our story. Once Cooper sits down. Well, Cooper's seated, but settled. You good? Everybody has water? All right. Here we go. You're all just waking up. Each of you find yourselves on a bed in a room that you don't know. The door is open, and you can see out into a common living area, and you can see other rooms. Now, question is, what do you do?
We're all in the same room.
No, each of you is in a different bedroom, but you can see out into a main area, and you can see across the main area to other doors with other people starting to sit up.
What is the room look like? Like a dorm room? Does it look like a cell? Like...
You are in a very utilitarian bed.
Gross.
Yep. It is a very utilitarian bed with quality linens, but not fine linens. Very simple furniture at this time. All of it's very corporate America feeling for being someplace that you sleep in. Everything is psychologically approved beige, walls, floor, and it's rather dark in the rooms, but the main area is slightly lit.
I feel very groggy, and as soon as I realize I'm in an unfamiliar location, I just like rub my face, and I'm like, "What fresh hell is this?"
I sit up and I go, Daddy? Daddy, where am I?
I run my hands over the sheets and I'm like, no, this is absolutely unacceptable. What is going on? Is there a manager I can speak to?
Indeed, you hear a voice coming from the main room.
I go to investigate to file my complaints.
Anyone else?
I
for my cane.
I mostly meander out though. I'm just like,
what kind of voice is it? Is it a male voice?
It is a female voice, mature, not full of confidence, and maybe slightly amused.
Why mosey
I've
out?
sat up and wondered why I'm in bed alone. And I'm looking around wondering where a minion is, because surely I'm not going to have to do something for myself. They are all going to be punished when I discover what the hell is going on.
Yeah, I just march right out there. I'm like, excuse me, what's going on?
So those of you who are still in rooms, you do see someone march into the main living space. Katie, can you describe yourself?
Absolutely. Am I in like normal clothes?
Whatever you went to.
Like,
Whatever
okay.
you went to your rest with the night before.
All right.
Or day before.
You see a white woman, about 5'8", voluptuous, like plus size, wearing a perfectly tailored, like sort of dark academia, like trousers. She's got the plaid, like button up, the ruffle shit, and like shoulder length dark hair. Not pleased. Not pleased at all.
Cooper's character has moseyed out as well. Cooper, could you describe yourself?
yeah. So I went to bed. Wearing black cap, pretty much never leaves my head, or some cap of some form. I'm wearing a shirt that is several sizes too large. I am a tall-ish 24-year-old male who's got the body of a runner, ropey muscles, long legs, limber eyes that suggest that he hasn't slept in 2 years, it feels like. And just there's a graphic on my shirt that is very neon. It's like an Oni mask. It has the color palette of like the inside of a Taco Bell, and just big black pants, like pajama pants. And I'm just like scratching at myself and just like, oh no, what? And then I see Katie's character. I'm like,
I look at you and I'm like do the once over, and I was like, no, you're not in charge of anything. Excuse me, who's in charge?
oh, I'm not. You're right.
Sarah, you wandered out as well.
Yeah. Well, I wander out. I've got early 20s woman, curly brown hair with some crazy colors woven into it. And at the moment, because I was sleeping, I'm wearing my dragon onesie. I go out and go, where am I? Who are you?
We're not in Kansas anymore, sweetie.
One of you get in here and explain what is going on. One of you, come on.
Daddy?
No.
I run in, just in case.
No, not you.
I deliberately try to stay away from these people and just observe from a safe distance.
The one with the hat, come here.
Oh God. Okay, yeah. What's up? What's up? Hey.
Where have you brought me?
I have done nothing to you. I'm sorry. I am super confused.
I find that extremely difficult to believe.
Do I look like I would be capable of bringing you here?
The other one.
Yeah, okay. It was nice talking to you. Thanks.
Out.
Not me?
So I just limp out of the room with my cane, which I found in the room, because I limp out of the room and then I'm very annoyed at all the voices, because I'm old. I just cannot deal with this. So I go to see what's happening. And do we see the person that's speaking?
Excellent. A woman steps forward. She was previously standing so still by the door that perhaps some of you, especially younger, may not have noticed her. She is flanked by 2 other people who could be executive assistants, or they could be bodyguards, maybe both. It doesn't matter. The woman matters, obviously. It's obvious in her sheer presence filling the room now that she's decided to step forward. She's wearing a perfectly... That's okay, go ahead.
No. I would like to know what she's wearing.
She is wearing a perfectly tailored blazer and pencil skirt combo in some kind of... Katee, your character would recognize brocaded silk fabric. Only that type of material can hold the luminosity of these colorways. The grays and blues are of an intricate design, have a lustrous quality to them, even in dim light. And she wears the suit like she exudes her presence, with confidence and in control. That suit is not wearing her.
I'm like, you're in charge. Hi, yes, hello. What are we doing here, friend?
That's an excellent question. She pauses because she appears to be of East Asian descent. Her black hair is pulled back in an elegant, low ponytail with the length of her hair pulled forward over one shoulder. And there is an exquisite hairpin set in the knot of the ponytail. She's also very obviously a vampire. She's making no effort to hide it. She makes eye contact with each of you, even you in the room there, and just raises an eyebrow, but allows you to stay there because you can hear her. Welcome to the city of Ahndtaraai. You may call me Apinya. I am here to answer some of the questions you might have and to extend an invitation. But first, I will give you all a brief overview of why you are here. Just to perhaps answer some questions or preempt some questions you already have. Each of you has been chosen by your clan, volunteered, really, to become a part of a collaborative endeavor. The intent is for you all to work together for the good of this city, Ahndtaraai, and also for your own survival. You are, all of you, relatively young, childer or neonates. You have potential to bring fresh approaches to the way we keep this city safe. It is my sincere hope that you all learn to work together.
Safe from what?
I'm checking my pockets for my phone.
So, how'd you get my name? Did you know? How'd you get my name?
We came to be aware of all of your existences based on the information that each of your clans had about you. And they recognized certain potentials, either in your skill sets, personalities, or just perhaps what you might be seeking. So there may be benefit for each of you.
I'm a little bit short on the skills and personality, so that can't be right.
Well, there is value in shaping tofu.
Sure.
It's gonna take a lot of shaping, honey.
At least he's aware.
Okay, so sorry, I don't mean to cut in here. What do you want from us exactly? You haven't actually said anything. You're using vague terms.
Indeed. Part of that is because we will only want of you what you prove out in terms of your potential. As we've said, or I've said, we've determined you have potential, but whether you make yourself useful is up to you.
What's in it for us?
What's in it for me?
I'm like, I look over my shoulder like, who the fuck's that?
Where are my cats?
So, first of all, what is in it? She was faster at the question, darling. A haven. This could be the basis of a haven that could be upgraded to your specifications. In each way that you make yourself useful to us, we will make sure to provide for you. It is a means to live and to pursue your interests in what spare time you might find for yourselves between tasks that we give you. A chance to survive. Anything beyond that, though, well, you have potential, and we reward those who fulfill their potential in useful ways.
Okay.
Where are my cats?
Those can be provided.
They better be provided quick. Beelzebub doesn't like to be left alone.
I
It's bullshit.
empathize.
I'm just gonna leave.
You
Like,
can't.
I just walk away and walk to the next door.
Okay.
Are these all you guys? You kind of have that vibe. You're like, are you people of the night too? Like, this would be like my first encounter with something like this. I'm sorry, I didn't just.
Well, welcome to Ahndtaraai, and welcome to everyone around you as a vampire. And also, I wouldn't advise trying to leave right away, at least not until I say you can. There's quite a number of our personal staff waiting in the hallway, who will either escort you out or escort you into oblivion.
That's traumatic.
Can
Okay.
you provide information?
Yes.
Do you have access to? You said our clans nominated us.
Yes.
Does that mean that you will? Some of our rewards might be information based.
Yes.
All right, I'm in.
Excellent.
Oh.
I don't
Okay.
really have anything else going on, so okay.
I assure you, we already have several of your cats safely in custody, and we'll make sure to reunite you with them after dinner.
Thank you.
What's
I've
for
pinned
dinner?
Evangeline as my equal in the bunch, and since she has suddenly taken quick interest, that changes my feelings on the subject. And I've gone from waiting to see what was going to happen when someone tried to leave to cautiously being willing to sit back since I don't have any minions to do anything for me yet.
I can't say I'm in, whatever that means, but I guess I don't really have a choice since you've kidnapped me and put me somewhere that I don't know. So until I have more information, I guess
Well,
this is what we're doing now.
Darling, do you really have
suggest-
anything better to do right now?
He has a point.
I could be safer at least. That would be an improvement. I'm not
There's
taking this.
very little other places that you could be safer than a haven, which is what we're willing to provide.
I just have one question.
Just one.
What's for dinner?
Excellent question. Shall we proceed up to dinner then?
Yes.
Yep, I'm in.
So the
Let's
two
go.
executive assistants / bodyguards behind me step away and open the door, and I will lead the way out into the hallway because I really don't care about having you at my backs. I'm unconcerned. And we proceed.
I like her. My dead heart gives a little pitter patter.
As we proceed, I'm
intimidated.
starting to tell you a bit about the city as we walk down a hallway, and you get the impression there are no windows on this level. None. We walk down a long hallway, and we're headed to, at the end of the hallway, an elevator lobby with banks of elevators. Wherever this place is, based on the numbers ticking, it has quite a few floors, 80 at least.
Are we high or low?
There are no
Number-wise.
windows at this point, and all the numbers seem to be going up and down and have not touched where we are. None of the elevators have opened yet. I hit the up button, or actually, an assistant hits the up button, and I'm speaking as we wait in the foyer. Ahndtaraai, the city of, is an experiment of sorts. It was intended to be a sustainable city. You may be familiar with such concepts or encountered models for other future sustainable cities. The city has been designed with net zero energy consumption, meaning the total amount of energy used by the building on an annual basis, or the city at all, is equal to the amount of renewable energy created on site across the city.
Okay.
Some neighborhoods have maintained that. Others have not. Speaking of neighborhoods, there are 5 distinct areas of Ahndtaraai. This, where you are, is the Hawker District. My sire rules here. Major corporations do their business here in these high rises, and we have provided everything for the quality of life of our human employees. They could quite plausibly work and eat and play in the same high-rise without ever having to step outside. However, if they do want to see the sky or hear the wind or feel the rain fall on their faces, there are ample parks and gardens created for exactly such pursuits within the Hawker District. The other neighborhoods of Ahndtaraai would be worth exploring in the future, should you so choose, or should the task that we assign you take you there.
DM, could I ask you to spell Ahndtaraai and Hawker?
Yes, Ahndtaraai is spelled Ahnddtarai.
AHN
DTARAAI. That's the name of the city.
I was so far
Ahndtaraai.
off.
That's okay.
Yeah, I was off too.
A Hawker district is Hawker. Hawker.
I got that one. Okay, resume.
All right. The elevator arrives with the ding and opens. And I step in, completely unconcerned, and step to the back so that there is plenty of room for all of you to come in, as well as half a dozen of my entourage.
So Evangeline steps in and like tries to sort of mimic her like confidence, not fully successfully, and just sort of like can't quite offer her back, like sort of stands at an angle with her back to the side of the elevator.
Anyone
Chris,
else?
did you say that your sire, your master, oversees the Hawker district?
Yes.
Who is that?
You'll be meeting him this evening.
Maybe I missed it just because I was still a bit off because you kidnapped me and like put me in a random room in a city I've never been to before. But did you say your name? I don't know if I caught that.
You may call me Apenya.
Apenya.
Anyone else have any questions? You'll realize that the elevator is rising at a very quick pace. There are lights moving to give a sense of motion. And after a few blips of floors, you realize that the wall behind me is actually a window. We were underground. And now you're starting to see open night looking out onto a city. As we rise.
I have a
That's
question.
pretty cool.
Sure.
So ma'am, if I was looking for information and research, where would I go?
Well, I,
Like
assuming
arcade,
that you all...
like occult research specifically.
Indeed. Well, I will be your general information broker, although I admit that occult is not my specialty. I do have a certain beginning information of where you can find leads within the city. Now, the city itself does have other neighborhoods in it, and I will say that some of it, such as the Quarter, is, shall we say, more of like a gaslight district type of thing. There is the villages, which are where the elite live, as well as several universities with very, very excellent libraries and rare book collections, as well as multiple private colleges with varying types of collections of their own and specialties of their own, depending on areas of study. So the villages may be something that you may want to take a look into. I think that you would find yourself very much at home there. Yes.
Hot
Hi.
snobby girl. I don't know your name, hot snobby girl. I'm Tibbie, but I wanted to let you know that I also have an interest in the occult. And maybe we can like research together, like friends, or like share knowledge.
Are you talking to me or her?
You hot snobby girl.
Oh, thank you.
I know her name. I don't know your name.
I am Evangeline Albrecht. I would love the company. Yes.
Great.
Excellent.
Where do the mortals gather to drink and dance?
Ooh, there is a neighborhood called the Playground. I think that you might
Oh.
find excellent and fun. It is reminiscent and designed with the idea in mind, very reminiscent of the French Quarter in New Orleans. And that is most definitely where I think you will find what you are looking for.
What, Jenny, what's your character look like right now?
When we were in the room, I was going. Well, I guess that's what I'm rolling with at this point, because that's.
Involves as we storytell.
He is wearing nothing but a pair of low-slung leather pants. He is absolutely covered in tattoos. He is chiseled in the way of someone who, I don't know, like hasn't quite been focused on eating enough, maybe, but like that cut muscle that's not quite bulk, but just like looks pretty. He's a little disheveled. Did I say he's barefoot? Yeah. So.
So, like, are we going to introduce ourselves at all? Like, I don't know any of you, and now we're apparently here in this exciting new place.
Exciting, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, new experiences are always fun. It's like going to school again for the first time.
New experiences are fun. Evangeline kind of looks at Jenny's character like, oh God.
I've had a pretty new experience recently, and I'm already kind of over it. But I think that's tied to why we're all here. The whole vampire thing. I'm still not super fond of saying that word out loud in reference to myself. But hey, y'all, I guess.
I just turn to the window and grumble. I don't like people. I don't like to be around so many people in a enclosed space. So
I'm like, hey, emo boy, what's your name?
Not emo necessarily, though.
Oh,
That might.
Okay. I can't tell the difference.
Yeah, it's fine. March, like the month, you know.
Apanya. What would it take to get you to come to the playground with me later?
Quite a lot, but I think we'll have dinner first and find out what happens next.
Speaking of dinner,
dinner.
awkward question. You wouldn't have happened to brought my dad with me on this misadventure anywhere. Is he anywhere in this city?
The elevator stops and the doors open.
Great.
I walk past you with a smile.
Cool.
And say, this way. And I lead you down a wider hallway. This is maybe 2-3 times wider than your average hallway to go through a hotel or a business office or most usual corporate complex. This is a wide hallway that almost seems like almost a vestibule or a receiving hall. And as we're walking, I veer to the left a little bit, and my staff also starts to intercede to kind of give you all a buffer, herding you over to the left a little bit, as another group comes out of a room, a set of double doors, and walks past us. And the staff that's walking with them similarly creates a buffer to kind of ensure that there isn't going to be any interaction as we're all walking with purpose.
How many of them are there? Like non-staff members?
It's a group of 5 following a young woman an appearingly young woman in an impeccable dress suit.
Are we in competition right now? Is this like a intro thing?
The Hunger Games?
It is not a competition.
It's a reality show.
It is not a competition, but you are also not our only resources.
Is the other group vampires?
Yes.
Oh, I don't like where this is going.
So we continue towards the double doors.
We're the best, though, obviously.
I can tell you that I am the best.
Oh, well.
Sure.
And the doors open before I get there because people rushed ahead to open them. We walk in, and you step into a palatial penthouse suite. There are different levels that are a step down, a step up. There's gorgeous living areas. There's an area with hot tubs and an infinity pool looking out into the night. There's another area with a living room and a fire pit and floor-to-ceiling windows, wall-to-wall, so that you can look out on a city that reminds those of you who might be familiar with cities like Tokyo or Singapore, high-rises and bustling city lights. Almost all the high-rises are 80, 90 floors high. There are interspersed some lower buildings of just a mere 40 floors or so, and some 10 and 20, right? All just evenly dispersed for a gorgeous city nightline. And on some of the roofs, gardens and parks and urban settings for play parks. And you look down and there's just a whole lot of mortal life going on if you look out those windows.
Now, this is more my style. What do I have to do to level up, I suppose? I'm assuming you don't take cash or card.
First of all, you have to survive.
All right.
Second, once we all prove that we all have the basic skills for survival, all of us have done that, and myself included, then it's about our contributions to the Camarilla. And you start that by contributions to, let's say, your employer.
Great.
I'm going to lead you over to what looks like a dining room. And you see at this dining room place settings. It is elegantly appointed with fine china, crystal goblets, gorgeous, gorgeous gold and silver, almost silver, but not quite silver, toned cutlery, set in a modern style, not so traditional, but a modern style that has that timeless feeling to it. And next to each of the settings, you see, as part of the decor around the settings, photos at the place settings. One of them, and you'll notice if you look closely, Evangeline, there's a photo of your sister next to one of them.
What the fuck is this?
Marche, a photo of your father is next to one of them. Santiago, a photo of your trainer is next to one. Isabel, a photo of Maisie holding a rescue cat is next to one of those place settings. And Reaper, a photo of your favorite underground club is at the place setting.
If you try to eat my fucking sister.
She just waits. I think you can tell where your seats are.
I just sit on the table.
I go sit, but I'm not happy about it. Yeah, I admired her, but now I'm like not comfortable at all.
Is anybody watching us?
I'm going to tell you that there are servants lining either side of the room, and I'll point out that this was set up for you by my sire, my employer.
I'm uncomfortable, but I cover it by sitting deliberately too close to Evangeline and making a show of checking out her sister.
Eyes on your plate.
I'd like to, if I can I try to approach one of the servants?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to approach just the one that looks the most like they aren't as in on this as everybody else, and just walk up to them and just like, hey, okay, I'm not really sure what the fuck is happening here. I have things that I need to get back to though. Can you I don't know what she's about. She's probably your boss. Is there? I have some money or something. I can do something for you, but can you show me the fastest way out of this place?
So
we can all hear him, I'm assuming.
Absolutely.
I'm just shaking my head like, oh, this poor.
So the servant, did you approach a male or female or androgynous?
I guess I'd leave that to you. It was whichever one looked the most like they weren't as convinced at everything that was happening as the others.
So you've approached a young man,
okay.
With very swoopy hair that kind of was obviously done with product to hold back, but it's starting to fall forward over his eye just a little bit in an adorable way. And he kind of blushes and blinks at you and goes, we're here to serve dinner.
Oh, okay, I see where this is going. Okay, cool, thanks. And then I just go and before I sit down, I take one last look at the picture of my dad. And then I just sit down.
Okay. Santiago,
just muttering under my
breath. Did you sit at a seat or did you sit on the table?
At a seat. I'm just waiting for dinner.
All right. So at this point, everybody's seated at the table. I said, thank you for your understanding. I am going to break here as the storyteller and ask you all. You've all just woken up, right? You've just come up here. You started with I'm going to call it a 1, hunger. I want you all to take a die and roll 1 die. If the result is 6 or higher, congratulations, your hunger stays at 1. If it's less than 6, 0 to 5, you fail and your hunger is actually at 2. Let me know what each of you is.
My hunger's at 2.
Okay.
I'm
Oh, yeah,
at 2.
I rolled a 2.
I rolled a 1.
Give me a
So
second to
did
take
I.
those notes. Evangeline's at 2.
Marche is at 2.
Marche is at 2.
I rolled a
Tibbie,
6, so I'm staying at 1, right?
correct.
Okay.
Tibbie, you said you failed.
I did.
Gabriel, Santiago,
Me too.
you failed.
Yep.
Dang, that's some odds. Reaper's the only one that stays at 1. Interesting. Okay,
Oh, actually, I rolled a 9, but it doesn't matter, right?
yeah, and anything over 6 is where your success. All right. So that level of hunger we should probably look at real quick just to get an idea, since this is all of our first time, as to what that means. Also, it matters with your blood potency. I think Santiago is the only one that has 2 blood potency, so that halves the effect of, or no, I take it back. Blood potency 2.
Yeah, I think that's the.
That's the
what
animal,
happens.
and bagged blood slacks half your hunger.
Yeah, I would
Okay.
need twice with animals.
Yeah. Okay. That's good to know. Let's keep an eye on that. Fast checks. Prices of the blood. I apologize for taking so long. I'm just trying to figure out exactly what it means.
Yeah, I like your little Aizawa like pillow thingy up above you. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
reverses too.
Oh, that's great. I love it. Trying to figure out what level 2 is. If anybody has that quickly with them, I'm looking for it, but
Doesn't it just? Oh, actually, I have no idea. It's 2 hunger die, right? So like whenever we roll anything, we replace 2 die with hunger die,
'cause
which
of
can make us
bestiality.
messy, murder up people.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, let's leave it at that. I'll do some more reading up on it, but for the most part, it matters because this is the number of hunger dice that you use in your pool of dice. If I ask you to roll anything moving forward, okay, that's why we tend to check. We do which is called a rouse check. So you start every wake up at 1, and then each time you use your disciplines or other types of things that you do, I may call for a rouse check because we may have to deal with your hunger, especially after you use that discipline. And then that will add 2. That's why it's kind of helpful to have 2 colored die, because you could have, and I'm showing here on the screen, set of red dice that I would use for blood die. Let's say I had a hunger of 2, but my overall blood pool that I'm going to be using to roll is 5. So I would use 5 total dice, 2 of which are blood dice. When I roll, what matters is how many successes or failures I have to figure out if I succeeded at what I was trying to do when I rolled. And also matters for your blood dice as to whether or not you had a critical failure or not. Because that will be a thing. Or whether or not you had a failure on a blood die or not. Okay? All right. We are at the table.
I take my sister's picture and put it in my jacket. Stop looking at her.
I'm going to call a break here for all of us to take a bio break because it's about the halfway point. We're going to leave you at the table here. And we're going to call it at... Typecast RPG always calls 7 minutes because everybody's always late. And I kind of like that.
That is basically a perfect amount of time for me to make more tea, so that's fine.
Perfect. All
That's a
right.
good idea.
So 7 minutes, and we will be back.
Does it keep
Am I,
recording?
What?
Should I,
I'm
like-
gonna keep recording and just
Okay,
let
I'm
it
gonna
go.
turn my camera off because I am not wearing pants, and when I get up, I will flash the
Yeah!
camera.
But yes, turn off your cameras if you'd like, and take a 7-minute break, and we will be back shortly.
I'll just hang out and dance with my cats or something. We'll see.
I'm gonna drink water.
This is Beelzebub.
Oh, hello. All right, I'm gonna go do a bio break. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
7-minute break, and then I do the introduction. Very adorable. Here. Okay, then you've achieved your effect.
Over his environment.
All right. They should be back in 3 minutes.
Are you still on camera or off?
I have the camera off and everything muted. Although, I might still be recording
Locally? Oh,
Yeah.
Hi there.
locally.
How are y'all? Anything of interest happen that I should know?
Not yet. think in the future I might break into what's it called? Oopsie. I think in the future I might
Break into
stop the
song?
recording and like break the video, stop the recording, and then restart when we come back from break.
Or whoever gets back first can improvise a dance for everyone.
I mean, if you
Great.
thought of it. We consider it.
Also, I've got a visual aid. I'm not going to put it on, but this is the dragon onesie that I'm wearing
Okay.
right now.
So you would have no reason to know this, but I'm actually in another campaign, also with people from WXR, the Writing Excuses Retreat. And in that, it's D&D. I play a halfling cleric who wears a dragon onesie.
Amazing.
And it pop it donkey. He's just a big fanboy, and he loves everything. And he's super happy and enthusiastic and cheers everyone on. He's great.
By the way, these are amazing.
What is it?
They're milk chocolate wafers that have been infused with Earl Grey tea.
What? Where'd you get that?
London.
Well,
Oh, fancy.
Sorry.
Piper's like, world traveler.
Oh, yeah. I'll take my
Still
first
have
pass
chocolate
flight
from
to
when I was a
London.
world traveler. I actually stumbled across these while I was
Is it the new one?
Hello,
Is
baby.
it a different one? Who's that? Who's that?
Yeah, Momo?
It's the new
Or no,
baby.
you kept his other name. You kept his other name. It's not Momo.
I had to show him. I think
Oh
we're
my
gonna
goodness.
keep the other name.
What's the other name?
Oh,
Oh, those kisses. Hello? Hello?
The other name is Kahlo, like Frida Kahlo.
Kahlo?
Hello.
Kahlo?
Oh my god, he loves you.
He never stops and bites so hard.
Oh, does he bite?
Yeah,
Them puppies.
baby.
Baby puppy baits. All right. Are we ready to get started again?
Let's get it started.
Yes.
Let's get it started.
Also, Katie, did you wear the my neck, my back? Because vampires.
No,
on the
but
neck.
did you see my naughty children's sack? Rachel Hawkins on Twitter saw me talking about Krampus like weeks ago and was like, "Tell me you have this shirt." And I was like, "I don't, but I'm about to buy it."
Oh my
Okay.
god, I love it.
I also really need to know, Katie, having seen your Instagram, what was the purpose of the blow up unicorn that like
I wanted
filled
it.
your kitchen?
Does it need
Oh.
a purpose?
I bought it, and then Tim's like, he's like, "You didn't like blow it up?" And I was like, "It's 12 feet tall. No, like it's gonna go outside." He's like, "Oh, we're blowing it up," and then it was blown up in my kitchen.
Oh my God, I haven't seen this yet.
Which somebody's like, "What's your husband think of this?" I was like, "He was more excited than I was." Like,
All
Is
right,
it-
that
I'm
seems like
determined to purchase this.
what is
I-
that?
I-
Oh, there it is. Oh,
Hell yeah, do it.
oh yes.
I just
How big is
feel
that?
like I need
Do
it.
it.
It looked pretty
I
big.
feel like you need it too.
Yeah,
We're all like yes.
Of course you need it.
Yes.
yeah.
You
And-
know what I bought this week? I bought
We're like
Hey,
competing
duck.
for.
The
Yeah.
wooden duck. I kind of wondered what
The
happened
ducks.
this is
Why?
Albert. Well, there's a
Oh,
thrift
'cause
shop
of the
near me
previous
that for some
conversation?
reason it's just full of ducks, and I'm like a city girl, so I was like,
I don't think she heard you, Cooper.
That's okay.
Oh,
That's
what'd you say?
Nothing.
Then because of our conversation last time about the ducks,
Oh, it's not because of that. No, there was just a thrift store that was just full of ducks. And it was duck paraphernalia and duck attire and wooden ducks and hunting ducks. And like, I'm not kidding. It was just like 50 duck items. Like every room was just full of
Apocalypse.
ducks. And I was like, do
Duckies.
I need a wooden duck? Like, is this an
Artsy.
essential household item?
See, I feel like you're the perfect recipient of the leftover rubber duckies that I have from the Intergalactic Bar and Grill. I don't know if either of you ever attended RT, Romantic Times Book Lovers Convention. I know
No.
Gabriel and Cooper have not, but it used to be that in the golden times, the Intergalactic Bar and Grill was like a lot of fun and games and things like that. I used to do it with Linnea Sinclair for science fiction, romance, and all things Blinky. Katie did the Intergalactic Bar and Grill with me once.
I did.
And one of the things that we used to do as a part of the game is save the intergalactic space duckies. And I would have various people from each of the tables come up with little nets. And they were coming through, the space duckies were theoretically coming through a wormhole, and you had to catch the space duckies. And so we would throw them. And almost always the cover models would crash this party because it was one of the biggest parties at RT. So then I would just put all the cover models up there with a net and just let people wing space duckies at them. Because that was entertaining to me. If they're going to come in here trying to be the center of attention, sure, be a target. And they would have this little badminton like net to try to save space duckies.
Oh my God.
And authors were just winging. I mean, and of course, cover models being what they are, most of them are like, oh, is that as fast as you can throw them? And you get some women who must have played like some hardcore softball and baseball because they were just boof, 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 and you heard it like smack into the wall behind them when they missed, and I was just like, don't.
Oh,
like,
I've got an arm for dodgeball. I played adult dodgeball. Like
See?
I could take someone
That's
out with
awesome.
a ducky.
So my only request was don't leave visible marks on them. I don't want to get in trouble. So, all right, we're all back now. That was a nice little intermission. I think from a quick shout out perspective, I want to take a minute to let everyone promote something if they have something to promote. If you don't have something that you immediately want to promote as an author, please give us your socials so that people who are watching know how to find out things like there was a 12-foot blow-up unicorn involved in Katie's life, that kind of thing. So for me, I have, I'm just going to shout out my socials. You can find me as Piper J. Drake on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all the things pretty consistently as Piper J. Drake. Katie?
I don't know when this is coming out, and honestly, I'm just going to forget what the titles of my books are anyway, so socials are good. I am Katie, 2Es _ Robert, no S, on pretty much everything. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, not really Facebook.
Kinda, sorta. You check in.
I run ads, and that's all I do. I don't like Facebook. But Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, I will be there, and I will see you if you see me.
Also, naughty artwork on Patreon.
Naughty artwork that I cannot get a postcard company to print because it's too naughty. So
Oh, that's naughty.
they don't like Krampus. They don't like.
They
They're like,
accepted.
no,
Yeah. Well,
Dragons
what
are
Krampus is
fine,
doing.
but Krampus is crossing the line apparently.
We deserve Krampus and his tongue. That's probably the line. Like, it was fine until the tongue was doing the thing, and now they're just like,
Oh, apparently scales are good for not so much. I don't know. There's a line somewhere. It's very
You just
interesting.
don't care what it is.
Cooper?
Well, I don't do the talk ticks. My socials are Facebook and kind of Instagram. I'm revitalizing it now slowly, in which I'm just Cooper D. Barham. And on Facebook, I'm Cooper D. Barham. Writer is where you'd find stuff related to my work. And I kind of already shouted out what I was doing at the beginning. So I guess that's it.
All right, Sarah.
Yeah, so I am sort of just starting the author journey. So I'm going to encourage, I had to look up, I don't even know the URL of my own website. It's www.sarahhawleyauthor.com if you want to sign up for my newsletter. And so Sarah's with an H, and then Hawley is Hawley. You can also find me on social media. My handles are Ms. Sarah Hawley. I'm not on Facebook a whole lot. I'm mostly on Twitter. I'm occasionally on Instagram, and like I guess I'm gonna figure out this TikTok thing at some point.
Only if you want to. Don't
Only
do
if
it
you
if
want
you
to.
don't like it.
Yeah. Gabriel?
I don't have anything really to shout out, but you can find me at Gabriel F. Salmeron on all of the social media. And really, as Cooper, I'm going to reactivate my Instagram, but mostly for my knives. So you can check those out over there.
We're here for the
Very
sharp-edged
cool.
objects. I'm here for knives.
Yep.
yeah.
Jenny.
And I'm Jenny Nordbak, all the places, because I have a weird last name, so I get the handle to everything I want, which is marvelous. And I'm on TikTok under Bonkers Romance as of the last couple of weeks, and I'm actually really starting to have fun with TikTok. Hopefully by the time this airs, my new thing, I want to do book recs, like bonkers book recs, but with one of my hairless cats, like Dr. Evil, just stroke my
Yeah.
hairless cat as I give book recs. So if I haven't done that by the time this airs, someone needs to come and hound me for it because it's happening.
I will hound you for it because
Excellent.
that's amazing.
All right.
Wait,
Let's
wait,
get-
sorry.
Yes.
I just thought of something to shout out.
Mm.
I'm sorry. I recently, like a couple of weeks ago, I appeared in my first podcast, which is Just Keep Writing, and it was an amazing episode about building a community, and people should really listen to it if you are in this business, you want to be in this business. It's a really good episode, not because of precisely my appearance, but there's many other things that are really good.
You had a lot of wonderful things to share, and the things that were shared about how to build a writing community at
it was really good.
phase in the writing career that you're at were kind of fun and valuable.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Nothing else for me to share. I just figured after hearing everyone else do it, I should probably spell my last name because it's weird. It's B as in boy, A-R-H. The H is silent, A-M. That's all.
Sounds good. All right. Let's get back into it. When last we left you, you were all at a dining room table.
What? Okay.
Yes. You know this.
Did you sit down, Marche?
Marche? Yes. Marche did
Marche.
sit down. And so, as you've seated yourself, more servants enter the room. They each stop just behind and to one side of your chairs, and they present to you a platter, synchronized, all of them. And then, looking at each other so that they can all do it at once, they each lift the top of the platter. For Evangeline is a plate of veal, beautifully presented by a sweet scented server. For Marche, a plate piled high with oatmeal cream pies by the sweet, sweet boy that you had asked a question of just earlier, and he's still smiling at you. Dinner. Santiago. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Everybody. Okay. Sorry. I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. Santiago, a bowl of sancocho, rich broth wafting toward you by a server with a pet chinchilla on her shoulder. For those who might not be familiar with chinchillas, they're a very soft, adorable rodents. Has a very sparkling, cute little collar and chain.
Wait,
Isabel.
out of narrative, I have a chinchilla story I have to tell you after this ends.
Okay.
Remind me.
You may or may not want to tell it after today. Isabel, a dish of chocolate
it's
ice cream
fucked up.
sprinkles. A dish of chocolate ice cream sprinkles by a young lady with I love cats on the inside of her wrist has been served to you. Reaper, a plate with a variety of bacon arranged artfully on it, thin cut and crisped to perfection, thick cut and cooked until the fat is just beginning to caramelize. British rashers even, and also circular slices of Canadian bacon. And the server, as she leans down to put it in front of place the platter in front of you, goes, Reaper, I just moved here not too long ago, but I'm a huge fan. I'm just so excited to serve you. I hope you enjoy. And she steps back, but each of them stays just to one side and away behind your chair.
Are they human servers or are they
Yes,
vampires?
they are. They are human. All of them. You can hear their
I
heart.
lean over to Reaper and I'm like, so you groupies, really? Don't you think that's a little like played out?
I ignore her completely and turn to my groupie.
Because that's delightful.
And say, just how big of a fan are you?
That voice, though.
So big. I mean, it's so big.
Are you prepared to serve me?
Yes. I mean, I'm here to serve in any way.
On my lap or on your knees?
How do you want me?
Knees will suffice.
She falls straight to her knees. Bright-eyed, blinking up at you.
Wow, that's fucked.
For once, I agree. Like,
I turn
please.
to the side and say to no one in particular, "Do you see that? That's crazy."
So Apinya is just smiling at everyone, and she lifts two perfectly manufactured fingers, and you'll notice of her fingers she has the long slight point on the thumb, the ring, and the pinky. But these two fingers slightly trimmed. And she just does this.
I'm having feelings.
She just does this, flicks her fingers, and one of the assistants that had accompanied her steps to her side and leans forward. And she looks at him with a smile. And she touches the side of his face, right along his jawline. And then she slides her hand behind his neck and pulls him down, grasping his nape and turning. And she feeds. Light, brief, neatly, elegant. And she comes up, still holding him, and he has at this point grasped onto her shoulder in the back of the chair for balance. We must be certain you are able to at least care for yourselves in the most basic ways. Feed.
So, I have feeding bloodhound, so I can like sense the resonance. Can I do that to the person, like not the groupie? That I'm assuming there's like the on the other side of me or whatever.
Right,
Can
we
I
have
sense?
powers.
You're a
Right.
servant, the person who's assigned to you. Yes, you can.
So, and there's like dots. Is that something I roll for, or you just tell me? I have 3 dots.
You have 3 dots to that. Yeah, you're going to roll for that. 2 of them are your blood dice.
I think the little sign thing, I'm assuming is a 10, and then my blood dice were 4 and 5.
Critical success and 2 fails. So at least 1 success, you are able to tell that the resonance is one of the resonances that would be appealing to you.
Okay, so she's a sociopath. There's no resonance whatsoever.
Just blank face.
Yeah. So question out of narrative. With the blood dice, does it have to be a crit fail in order for it to be like? Does it have to be a 1 in order to be a technical fail when it comes to like these rolls?
Yeah, right now that's my understanding. If I
Okay.
find out I'm wrong, we'll change gameplay later.
Okay. And is it? What do they look like? My little sociopath.
Your little sociopath.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you want them to look like? What would be your ideal?
I don't care. I have no preference. They're not going to enjoy this whatsoever. So.
Mm-hmm. So they are clean cut. They are sort of, you're clean cut, medium height, medium build, immediately forgettable white person.
So I feel like lower class. All right, yeah.
Low to middle class. They could blend in either one, depending on whether you dress them up or dress them down. But they are immediately forgettable.
Okay. So
that's
I'm
what
gonna
makes them a good
kind of
sociopath.
like look at them and they're like, I'll take an arm, thanks.
They hold out an arm.
Yeah, like you're not gonna enjoy this, and I just like not like messy bite, like it's not a little bit of flesh in there, not a clean bite.
It's
But
a rip
delicious.
shred.
Yeah, rip shred. And maybe take a bite out of it in addition to the blood.
Okay.
Because they're not going to enjoy it no matter what, so I might as well take what I want.
Agreed.
I look mortified.
I do like have like a napkin or something so that I'm like not getting blood on my clothes, of course.
Excellent. Anybody else?
I turn to my person and I'm like, have you ever done anything bad?
Define bad.
Like-
This is a servant.
What's the worst thing you've ever done?
I love cats.
I'm like eyeing her veins, but also I'm like,
I love cats, but I was playing with a hamster once a little too hard, and I smacked it into the ceiling, and it came out dead.
I grab her by the fucking neck and I hit her head on the table and lock on.
Lock on.
I lift my head and I'm like, fair play. Fair.
anyone else?
I just
Go ahead.
I see what's happening, and I can't even look at my person. I am just like very aggressively looking at like the table / my lap / my hands, which are just fidgeting, and just I keep glancing up at everyone else feeding, and I start to sweat a little bit.
I will avoid being explicit, but there are inappropriate things happening between my servant and I as I bring her to pleasure and she brings me to pleasure as I feed upon her and I make eye contact with each of the other people in the room as this is happening.
Are you feeding from like that whatever artery that is?
Femoral artery?
No, I'm feeding from the neck. We had a moment, there was eye contact. She asked me for it.
I am not making eye contact. You cannot make eye contact. I am not looking. I'm just
Oh, but I know that you can see.
out of the corner of my eye.
You can hear.
You can
even
definitely
if you
hear
can't
everything.
see.
I start eating like messier.
I'm just trembling, watching everything, hearing everything, while locking on to the chinchilla, hearing its heartbeat at 300 beats per minute.
The servers
smelling.
allowed it to sit next to your table and your chair. It is literally on the arm of your chair.
I pay no attention to the human because I know what I can do. I know what the others are doing, and I just try to smell the sancocho to distract myself from the little rodent, and I just cave in from all the blood around me, and a slow tear rolls down my face as I take the chinchilla and can feel its fear as it too smells the blood, and I just feed as carefully as I can.
The servant doesn't move, even though they're still tethered to the chinchilla.
I lean over to my.
And
It was on a leash.
I don't feel good about that. I'm sort of drinking and looking at him like this.
I mean, I finish very quickly the feeding
Yeah, you
because
do.
it's very little.
Me
I was going to
too.
change my phrasing, but I chose to continue like that.
Is the chinchilla still alive?
Oh no. I just
No, there's
bring
not
it
enough blood in that.
in a sec. Yeah,
No,
I need more. I asked the server if they have more of this or
Say-
any other rodent for me.
I
Oh,
see Tibbie clocking on, and I'm like, Tibbie,
oh,
There
yes,
was a
sir.
perfectly fine human right there
The,
that you could have drunk from.
the servant does bring
I don't
you
do that.
multiple choices of various rodentia, and then the servant also whispers to you, if it helps, sir, each and every one of these is older or does have a terminal illness.
I thank the server very deeply from my heart.
Do
And-
I overhear that?
Yes, you can hear that.
Okay.
see, I'm like, it's fine. See, it's fine. It's a mercy. It's a mercy.
Insight
It's fine.
check.
Meanwhile, Marche,
Yeah.
the servant next to you, leans over and goes, Sir, I am here to fulfill your needs. I understand that this could be a very tense situation, but I also have been instructed to make sure that it is as easy as possible for you to
No,
enjoy your dinner.
no.
But it's okay. It's okay.
You-
I've done
you
this
put-
before.
You put my favorite snack in front of me that knowing full well that I can't eat this shit anymore. Please get it out of my face. And
So he
leave.
takes it and he takes it out of your play, out of the way, but he comes back. It's okay. I've been here before. It's totally okay.
Can I, just because I want to use it, I think it's the same thing that Katie just used. Can I use my sense vibrations to like get the emotion out of this person?
Sense vibrations. That's a new one for me.
It's just learn the most intense emotion of a person. It's part of Auspex.
Okay. Yes. Let's roll for that. You got 3
Do you have to do a rouse check to
after. if he succeeds or fails.
So I roll 3 plus the 2 hunger die, or just 3?
3, including the 2 hunger die, I believe. Although, wait, hold on. Let me just look up how to use a discipline first,
Yep.
just to make sure.
If it's more than a level, is it a 2 or above?
It is.
This would be a level 2. I have 3 points in Auspex, but it's a level 2 ability.
There should be like something plus Auspex that you roll, I think.
Yeah, I'm looking.
I only have 1, 2, so I don't know.
I've got one that's
Sense
like,
unseen. No. Sense heightened senses. No. Premonition. No. Oh, where is it? Sense vibration. Share senses. Sense the unseen. Heightened senses. I don't see sense vibration.
In the 2-dot slot under standard powers.
Oh, fudgers.
I'm looking at the White Wolf wiki. I'm not looking in the.
Oh, you're pulling powers the rest of us aren't. Out in the Wild West here.
Hang in there. Let me grab it. White Wolf.
It should either be like wits plus Auspex or resolve plus Auspex or something like that.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I wrote all mine out because I was like, I'm gonna forget this.
Yeah, sense vibration.
I had mine written out, but then
is
I
a
had to switch over
standard.
to the new character sheet, and I forgot to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting enough, Auspex is progressive so it's 2 plus something. I am sorry that I don't know how to do this yet. We're figuring this one out together.
Yeah, it'll be okay.
It's an adventure.
It is totally an adventure for... You're right, though. It is an attribute plus something. I guess, honestly, how are you going to try to do it? Are you going to...
I guess I don't know how it manifests in this game.
I want to say it's probably... I'm going to go for Auspex, but also your intelligence to be able to figure out what it means. So we're going to go with your Auspex plus intelligence. So the Auspex, however many pips you have in Auspex, it's a level 2, so you only need 2 pips. But however many Auspex pips you have, plus your intelligence. And roll.
Plus hunger?
No. So what you have is 3 in Auspex and 2 in intelligence. So it's 5 dice, of which 2 of them have to be your hunger die.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm going to say you're trying to sense their emotions. That this kid's a open book, so you only need 1 success.
What qualifies as success?
Anything over 6.
Is it 6 and over or over 6?
6 and over.
Okay, thank you.
None of these are 6.
So we have fails. Is any one of them a 1?
No.
All right, well, you don't have a critical fail. So all you're able to get from him is what he's saying and how earnest his expression is. It's fine. I'm totally here to help make sure you enjoy your dinner.
No, you don't. You don't get it. I'm still getting used to this thing. I can't do what they're doing. Unless my dad kind of understands what's going on, sort of. Whole situation there. Bring him here and I'll consider it, but I'm not. I'm not eating or drinking you or whatever.
Here, I'll tell you
Yeah,
what.
like,
I'll make it super easy. And he rolls up his sleeve. He goes, "This is harder to kill me, so you don't have to feel as bad, right?" And he holds up his wrist to you, and he literally takes a thumb with a little silver hook to the ear, and he pierces it right in front of you.
Okay.
I offer him a rat while munching on another one to see if he wants one.
Marche would be sweating at this point, but because he's still relatively new to this,
Mister, I'll get in trouble if you don't enjoy your dinner.
Fuck yeah. Okay, I take it.
Okay.
We'll do this way.
So he gasps a little bit as you strike his wrist.
I try to be as invasive as possible.
Okay. So he'll just sit there and all he's gonna do is go, "It's okay. See, I'm totally okay. I'm okay." I'm okay.
I can't even hear him.
Everybody else, you're just watching. He's like, I'm okay.
And it tastes.
I'm okay.
This tastes weird and different because this is not what I'm used to.
True. This is true. All right.
So what I do? What
No,
is
go ahead.
like is my person just like fine with being ravaged, and also Tibbie's person? Because my bite hurts a whole lot, even without the.
Your person definitely wasn't able to hold back a gasp, but they try to stay, like, they try to hold their shit together. Ooh, excuse me. They try to hold their stuff together, but they definitely gasped. And you see that at least 2 servants pop into the room with first aid kits. Like, they're prepared. Okay, so at this point, Apinya has released her assistant, and somebody has already gone over to them and started to patch them up lightly. And she goes, excellent. I'm glad. I actually hope that all of you have found your sustenance to be acceptable. Now, I would like to introduce you to your employer. And she stands up, and another vampire enters the room.
Oh boy.
Why, hello. It's a pleasure, I'm sure. I've just come to make all of your acquaintance. Life is so boring sometimes. It's good to see you all. Are there any questions?
Sure, that one, her.
Did you maybe sire a child by accident like a year ago?
An interesting question. What others do we have?
We can start with names. What's your name? Bud?
Ah, pleasure you are. Any others?
How do I get to the playground?
I like that one. Who else?
This is going rather well. No. I'll wait for your lady to come back. Thank you.
So we were told we were gonna do some tasks or something. You are the one that's gonna give us that?
Well, I don't
perhaps?
deal in the details, but as your employer, I'm delighted to know that most of you know what you're doing when it comes to the basics. Some of you need some education. It's rather unacceptable for employees of mine to invalidate the Masquerade, shall we say.
I'm not sure what you mean.
Define invalidate.
Yes, sir.
Do they not know?
No. Yes. Perhaps.
I see. Perhaps has been discussed already. I expect that you all will, like a game, proceed from some simple tasks to some more complex tasks. These are not things that I want you to take lightly. But then again, if you entertain me, so much the better. It's important for you to understand that I know the answers to the questions that you have.
You didn't answer any of our questions.
An interesting observation.
Okay.
So, how many tasks do we have to complete to get these answers?
Well, that all depends on the results. You could always exceed expectations.
I prefer measurable quotas, please.
So young.
We can get a stipend
What was
or
that one's name?
Which one, sir?
That one.
Tibbie, sir. She likes to be called Tibbie. Tibbie?
Tibbie.
This one's Tibbie. Hi.
Yes, with a raised hand even. Go ahead.
Oh, well, I was just wondering if we get like a stipend, or is this like a scholarship program?
What would each of you deem fit as payment?
It would seem you have information that I want. I would prefer to deal with information.
Sure. Here's a free one. It's just part of a set.
What?
Good. There's something that I would like to investigate. I had something happen some years ago, and I have doubts about how it happened. Would you be able to help me?
Here's your free one. Your doubts are founded. Who else?
Oh shit.
No, not you. Not you.
Well, okay, that's not. Okay.
If you might be my daddy, I don't know, but like I would like to know who my daddy is. I guess that would be my biggest payment.
Can you ask the question in a way I could understand?
Are you my daddy? And if not, do you know who is?
Indeed. Another question.
What? Which?
Did he just say it's your dad?
Are you my daddy?
Look, I'm tired of being lumped in with this and feel more like I'm on a level with you and would prefer to be where you are versus this, and that's where I would like to discuss being.
Interesting. You're more respectful than your reputation. I like that. I like 5 of them.
Does this one have a reputation?
Look at him. Like,
I mean, I don't know who this person is. Reaper? Who calls themselves Reaper?
I mean, that's a fair
What?
question. That is a fair question.
Very cool.
Why is it still
Knuckle,
talking?
knuckle.
Well, now you've met our employer.
I would love our first task. Can we get started? I would love our first task.
I'm delighted that you have such enthusiasm at this point. Is everyone else committed
Yes.
to this endeavor?
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. Why not?
Excellent. Based on your commitment, I am able to give you a certain amount of rewards. For example, Miss Tibbie, your cats will be waiting for you downstairs in your new haven.
Thank you. Can they have a little bit to eat? I don't have any cat food on me. I don't know if you've got some. They only have wet food.
We will stock
or
the area. We will
Pork
stock
slice.
the common area with the
Okay.
appropriate
Dear
necessities.
God. Seriously, where's the playground? How do I get away from this?
Well,
Cats become vampires. I don't know if maybe that's a dumb question. Okay, I'll stop now.
I think a basic primer for you, Mr. Marche, may be something that I will leave to your coterie to provide you the answers to over the coming days, nights, weeks. We'll see how long you all take this. I am delighted. Why don't we all step away to allow the room to be cleared, and we'll head back to your haven. Each of your touchstones will be given the ability to move to the city, because they are, after all, very important to your livelihoods and your survival. Do you have concerns, Miss Evangeline?
Yes, I would prefer my sister not to move to the city. She's great where she is. She doesn't need to be involved in any of this.
Seems
Alright.
what she's doing.
But Mr. March, you were just asking about your father.
Yeah, I want to go to him, not the inverse.
Does that mean you're going to leave the coterie?
Well, I don't know. I sense that's not really an option. So no, technically, but I want to.
I'll tell you what. What we can do is provide instantaneous communication as necessary for the touchstones that do not move to the city. We will be providing protection from afar, unknown to them if you prefer, but we are invested in you, which means we are invested in the safety of your touchstones.
I'm just worried about Maisie's rescue. The shelter. The whole shelter can't move with her, can it?
We can provide the facilities for our new shelter. I believe, I'm told, actually, that in one of the neighborhoods there is a need or a request for a cat cafe.
She would love that. Okay.
So if that is the case, then perhaps we will try to make sure that that offer is one that she can't refuse.
And how can we trust you that you're gonna do well for these people and pets and such?
Can we tell you're not going to use them against us as leverage?
To be honest, you can't
What she
trust
said.
me. You can't trust any vampire. And that is an excellent observation. However,
How old are all of you?
oh goodness.
Listen. Like the faded rock star act, it was cute for the first like 5 minutes, but leave if you want to
she's
leave.
speechless. She doesn't even know what to say.
Cheekbones could cut glass. Like,
Tibbie.
Are you still looking for your daddy?
Yeah. Or did you maul a young woman maybe a year ago?
Anything's possible.
Oh, this is going to be so entertaining.
I do everything in my power to not be fascinated at everything that Reaper says.
So entertaining. Why don't we head back downstairs?
Can I bring my pet?
I think she can handle it. She can stand up for it. If she can stand on her own 2 feet, she can come to you. Otherwise, she can recover and come to you later. I'm sure that you'll be entertaining others, so we'll have to work out a guest pass for security.
I'm sorry, are you saying there's going to be people coming and going like your little like groupies?
Well, all of you
Gross.
will have to
Jealous?
No.
come to a
Thanks.
certain understanding.
I have
when it comes
taste
to your
and standards.
Could I be far from that room, please, ma'am?
Please.
Different
keep
floor
your
would be awesome.
rodents far away.
You will all
Yeah.
be assigned a
The
suite.
rodents can hang out with me. That mean, just don't kill them once I've named them, okay?
But you'll have cats. That's kind of, yeah.
Yeah, they get hungry too.
I mean, can I get big rodents? Now they can hang out with the cats.
You mean like a capybara?
I would love a capybara.
Capybaras are cool. They're cool. Okay.
Okay.
You can. Why don't you make one your thrall, like my cats? And then, wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah. Could that be one of my requests, ma'am?
Miss Tibbie, why
Please?
don't you explain to our new friend, Marche, what a thrall is?
Oh yeah. So I've blood bonded with a small smattering of a dozen cats. So I found them when they were in need of rescue. They were hurt, and I fed them some of my blood. And we did this a few times, and now they're bonded to me, and they would do anything for me, just like I would do anything for them. So I never go anywhere without at least one or two somewhere nearby, just in case.
You say a dozen cats?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That explains the smell.
How dare you?
So rude.
Yeah, but come on, that was on brand for everything we've known for the last half hour or whatever. Okay, thanks for the explanation. Thanks. I appreciate it.
All right.
Weird.
If
but-
everyone is ready, let's go to your accommodations. That will be your new haven. And Apanya leads you back down the elevators, and you'll notice that you go subterranean, which is hopefully a relief for all of you. You do go down as many as 5 floors, at least, but you may have lost count. And you are led down a hallway to the end, at the very least, to a single door. And when it opens up, it's a small vestibule that leads into a grander space, not anywhere near the penthouse, but it is a comfortable living area and a kitchenette, almost like actual humans live here. And there are 5 doors. Each of them leads to a bedroom suite with a private bathroom and a wardrobe. The living area itself has enough seating in terms of couches and small chairs to be one of your mid to high class pre-furnished corporate living quarters.
They couldn't have had us wake up here to begin with.
Honestly, I agree with the kid. This will do, though. This will do to start.
And Tibbie, there is a door that is closed. I tap that door and say, your cats are here. I do suggest you work out with your coterie any ground rules for the overall suite when it comes to your cats. But we have installed the latest in, shall we say, cat facilities within your bedroom to try to keep the HVAC system from being overwrought.
Look,
I mean, they also do whatever I tell them to, so if anyone's room is a no-go, I can make sure they don't go in there.
I wouldn't send them to the old guy's room.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
No,
Yeah,
but
okay.
I'm fine with that. I love
Well,
it.
I wasn't sure if you'd seen
You
what
know,
happened.
you seem to love them really
It's
intensely at the
Yeah.
table earlier, so...
look, if pussy ends up in my room, I make no promises not to eat it.
I
I'm
suggest that you
horrified
all
and
discuss
aroused.
guests as well. Any guests will have to be checked in by security at the building and also escorted. Therefore, please think about that, Reaper, when it comes to when you're finished, whatever you're finished. They do have to be escorted back out again.
By
I have
me?
one question before we part ways. You said there was 5 parts of this city. You listed 4. What was the other one? You listed the Hawker District, the Quarter, the villages, and the playground. Hey, I'm talking about the playground. You hush.
The fifth. The 5th is the waterfront. It is mostly industrial, mostly shipping container areas. While we are supposed to be as sustainable as possible, we do import certain things that we don't produce here, particularly for those who have more eclectic, luxurious tastes and can afford it. There are some restaurants and hotels along the waterfront, ranging from easy, cheap tourist spots to eat and pick up souvenirs to private marina facilities. So it could be interesting. And actually of potential interest to all of you once you find yourselves heading out there. This is one of the few that does not have an extensive public transportation system set up. So you can reach it, but it is not convenient to traverse from place to place in this area of the waterfront. You'll have to go above ground.
While we're on the subject of transportation, could I bring up, do we get any, I can't imagine you're planning on giving any of us a car or something.
Each of you will receive a set of cards and IDs to allow you to pass as human for any of the times that you should emerge or for any of your tasks. Have ident cards that will be your ID, your entry, and your financial resource when you're here in the Hawker District. Single card for all. We will also give you transportation cards for the metro, for public transportation to any of the other areas. You will find...
Sorry, I think you just said public transportation. That's silly. Okay.
It is, but it is also underground, which is
So no
convenient. No, none of you get cars.
Are we...
Oh, rats.
What about You said finances. What about our current finances? Are you saying I no longer have access to my money? Like,
Oh, but you do, but not everyone
Okay.
does. So when it comes down to it, we try to make sure that if you have any expenses that for any of the tasks that you're doing on our behalf, you have the means. We will be tracking that. While we don't track it closely, we may ask you if anything is inordinately exorbitant.
So is
course.
this like our living situation paid for? Do we have to pay for that?
This is your
what's the
haven.
deal
I
with
hope,
that?
I hope they're
For-
paying for it.
For as long as you are completing your tasks for us, this is our way of taking care of you. Consider it an
Okay, we
investment.
keep throwing tasks around. When am I expected to do these tasks?
Well, congratulations, because you have finished your first task, which is meeting our employer, agreeing to become a coterie, and also establishing that at the very basic level, you are not a waste of time. I do suggest, as it may have been hinted, that you work on your feeding skills amongst yourselves. Give each other tips, tricks, what have you, to survive better within the Masquerade. And that does include using certain powers at your disposal to ensure that you do not break the Masquerade. While we're willing to overlook certain prior behavior, once you know better, you're expected to maintain the Masquerade. And when it comes to the first task, my request is for all of you to settle in for the evening. Contact your loved ones or touchstones if you need to. And for the most part, come up with any ground rules amongst yourselves. I will rejoin you in the our morning with your first task.
Okay, before you go, I have a quick question, just because I'm not entirely. We're not in danger, right?
Here? No.
No, I mean,
if we
anyway.
fail to complete these tasks, will there be consequences?
It depends
Or
on
if we, leave.
it depends on how you define failure to complete the tasks.
I turn my head to the side and I go, Marche isn't really being subtle, is he?
Not even a little bit.
I don't care. I've read books about this, and it doesn't usually go well.
So if they leave, do I get this space to myself?
If you prove yourself helpful. Yes.
Okay, whatever. I find my room.
However, the benefits are much higher because you're more used to me as a coterie.
Oh, I mean, you have what I want, so I look forward to our first task.
Yeah.
Is this us in for the night, it's about to be morning, or?
Well, it is at least a couple of hours to morning at this stage. We can continue, or you can talk amongst yourselves about any house rules for your haven, or work out.
House
any
rule:
aspects.
no one gets to feed from my cats. Okay, I will rip your fucking throat out.
Perfectly reasonable.
Great.
Promises.
We hear a knock at the door, and Apenya glances at the door and glances at one of her assistants, and they open the door, and your very sweet server shows up, slightly patched up, looking very perky and excited.
Marche's sweet server or mine?
Yours, Reaper.
Oh, okay.
Oh, looks like the playground came to you. How sweet.
Oh, it always does. If anyone needs me, I'll be in my room.
No one's gonna need you. It's fine. Just go.
Does
Remind
anybody have
yourself of
any
that
other?
later.
If you have any other requests, make a list.
I have
Each
a
of you
question.
has.
Whose rooms are next to whose?
I'm not next to Reaper. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I go to the other direction,
If
and
I'm
no
next to
one
Reaper, I
goes
want to
into
tell
my room.
I want to tell him that if anybody visits, to keep it as quiet as possible.
Oh, sweetie.
And I settle in the middle of the living room because they all seem so uncomfortable. This is
I'm
not
just
my
interested.
space.
Look, I have a new
full-
ground rule. No, none of that in the main area. Keep it to yourself and you're behind closed doors.
I'm sorry, rich girl. You're gonna have to be a little bit more specific about that.
I don't want to see you.
Uncomfortable?
Yeah, obviously, look at you. No.
Nah.
I don't want to see any nudity, any coitus, any of that, any disrobing, seduction. Just no, none of it. I don't want to witness it. Keep it to yourself.
I don't mind seeing it.
Then go to his room.
Okay.
Can I
Becoming
see
a
Tibbie's
daddy.
cats?
What?
Can I see Tibbie's cats? Are they out, like, presently?
They're inside
Tibbie's
her room.
cats?
Oh, okay. No. Not
I
Sarah's
thought you literally
cats.
meant.
No.
I can show them to you right now.
Okay, that's fine too.
I'm still workshopping actual names for this fellow for the in-game, but outside of game, this is Coco.
Oh,
Okay.
good
Hi,
girl.
Coco.
And then, baby. Oh, it's okay.
Why, Marche? You interested in pussy?
This is in
Marche
game. This is
just does
Beelzebub.
not even answer that, huh?
This in game. This is Beelzebub.
No
outside
answer
of game,
is as much of an
Garba.
answer.
Beelzebub.
Oh.
Yeah, like he doesn't answer verbally, but like, does he respond?
Oh, yeah. His face
Or,
gets
like,
very
react,
red,
I
and he,
mean,
like,
yeah.
very deliberately does not look at a Reaper at all. Oh yeah. He's extremely intimidated and uncomfortable. Yeah. I ignore that and I'm like, can I say hi to one of your cats if they're going to be part of our little family thing?
Absolutely.
Cool.
They love head scratches. And don't worry, they won't eat your entrails so long as they're inside your body.
Yeah,
Could I
checks
just
out.
go, just choose a room and go? And this is giving me a headache. Really, all these kids.
Prejudice.
Get off my lawn.
Yes. Yeah. Please. Go away. I choose the room opposite of Reapers, if that's possible at all. And I just limp my way to the door.
I am unfortunately right next to Reaper.
What you'll find in each of the rooms is that there is a wardrobe available with a couple of sets of clothing, since you all were rather precipitous. And you'll find that it's actually clothing that came from your closets or your wardrobes.
So did we all go into the right rooms, or did we because we all bolted away from Reaper's room? Does that mean that some of us ended up with the wrong clothing in our wardrobes?
No, I've
Highly
emerged
possible.
back into the center area holding up Evangeline's undergarments,
Oh
saying,
my God.
Tibbie's the only one that actually went to the right room.
I just
I have
bust it over
something.
there and just rip it out of his hands. Just are you kidding me?
So what do I find in the room that I got into?
Describe to me some of the stuff that you have that would be easily bagged and transported. Like if somebody walked into your home and thought, does this person need as a care package?
I mean, I found only leather. Like a
Maybe
vest,
some fur.
a jacket, yeah, with a little fur. And
Is it chinchilla though? Sorry.
Lager?
I don't know yet. But the smallest pants, leather pants, I could find, like the smallest size available. That's what I find.
hilarious. Swing.
is my coat in there too?
I mean, if it was readily available in your closet, it happened.
So what do you do? When you see the clothing, do you bring it back out, or do you just man, this seems legit?
No, I obviously go outside of that room. I want nothing to do with that. I would never wear that. I only wear tights. For gymnastics, for the gym, that's the only thing that I wear. Okay?
Wait, what about tops?
Wait, are you wearing that right now?
Bro.
Oh no, I meant your character.
Oh,
Yes,
I
yeah,
also
yeah,
mean
of
you
course.
now.
That's the only thing that I'm wearing.
I don't think
That
I
I
think I
wear.
missed the detail before. Huh.
Wait,
You didn't-
just tights. Are you wearing a top?
Yes. Yes, that too.
Tight top.
Or- Yes.
Underwear?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm always ready for competition.
Oh,
Tibbie,
we
So-
have
did you ask
something
if
in
he's your
common.
daddy?
This is gonna be this entire campaign, isn't it?
It's highly possible. As amusing as this has been, I think we're going to call the night here. Let you all settle in as you so need. Please feel free to access the tablets that are in each of your rooms if you have a need to communicate anything that might be missing. And within reason, we'll make sure to see to your comfort. But please do understand that some of it may take time and also may depend on how successful you are in your tasks as we move forward.
I'm sorry. What's a tablet?
Oh,
I think some of you will
Grandpa.
have to help each other in various ways, so I suggest an exchange of information.
Yeah, I'll just ask the kids. Ugh.
No.
And
no,
with that,
no.
Opinya steps out. She's not even going to listen anymore. She's done.
Fair.
And we're going to call the session here for the evening.
Okay.
How'd that go?
Good intro. That was fun.
I think that was good.
Oh my god, that was awesome.
Our team chemistry is gonna be something.
All right. So
There's such, like-
I'm going to say thank you to everyone who might watch this video later on, and I'm going to stop the recording here, but tune in for session 2 when we start, the shenanigans really get started.
Asks.